This video is going to take a look at Plickers, and if you're looking at my screen here, I have 4 rows all the way in the bottom right hand corner where you see a check mark and 2 little white cards. That is Plickers, so I can go ahead and click on that. And notice that my iPad was in portrait landscape mode, and now it wants me to put it in portrait mode. So I need to rotate that around, and it does that automatically. If you don't have an account, you don't have an account, but it's very important that when you're using Plickers from your iPad, you're also signed into that same account on your computer or on your desktop, because they're going to see each other eye to eye and talk to each other basically. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign in with my username and password. And I'm signed into Plickers, and now you're going to see all of my classes that I've created. I have Block 1 all the way down to Professional Learning. Notice they're all multiple different colors, and I talked about that on the desktop version. I like to have multiple colors because then I can see what I have for each class. So I'm going to take a look, and I'm going to pull up the questions that I have from Block 1. And this is a quiz that I had given to my students in the spring in terms of a first aid unit that I had run. So here they are, and those are questions that are queued, and you can see that they're queued and they're ready to go. I also have this history button that I can slash here, and this is another quiz that I had given my students earlier about matter, and those were the answers and the responses that I got. So I don't need those, I need ones that are queued. I also have 2 other options down below where I can create right from the iPad. So this is great if after you've asked your students some questions and you see maybe that they really struggle with a particular question, you can input or on the fly create a new question by hitting this create button, asking for the question. What type of burn? Oops. Turns the skin black. So I'm creating this question on the fly. And then I can hit create. So then I would be able to hit the scan button, and this is where I would go ahead and I would look and search for all the students that are holding up their Plickers card and just briefly scan over them. And you can see my students' names are at the top there. When I'm finished, I'm going to hit the check mark, and that shows that my question has been asked. So as I go through question by question, that's exactly how I'm going to run it. Because these questions are in the queue already, I can go ahead and I can click this question here. You should always keep a first degree burn covered. And when I hit scan, this is when I ask my students to hold up their Plickers boards and just simply scan, as you see pictures in my bedroom. Okay, and you'll see that the students' names will start to turn green as they answer, or red if they got the answer incorrect. And when I'm done, I hit the check mark, I hit the back arrow, and I go on to the next question. True or false, scan this one, and then I can go ahead and I can hit the check mark, and I can be done. And that is basically how you run a Plickers. Now, you can see that the questions are still there. What happens is when you ask a question, when it's in the queue, it will automatically disappear after students have completely answered it, or you've had the majority of your class answer the questions in Plickers, which is really great because then you think, oh, did I ask this question or didn't I ask this question? Oh gosh, I can't remember. So this is great because it would the questions will disappear as you go through. And that's how you run Plickers from your iPad. Very, very simple, very, very easy to do, very easy to create questions on the iPad as well. So there you have it, Plickers on the iPad.